There is absolutely no shortage of opinions on Marathon right now.
Can you release a game that it looks like you even go through the main menu to play it?
But how many of them have felt genuine? I mean, it's usually either people getting paid to play the game that probably want to continue being paid to play it, so...
I'm in like an ad. Well, I guess I'm not in the ad anymore. I love the snappiness of it, especially after so much awkwardness where you die like 14 seconds behind a wall. I love it.
They're being a little soft and generous with it. Or people hopping on a hate train without even actually trying the game fully.
Two more games that I want to...
I mean, let's be real. Half the negative takes that I've seen on Marathon are calling it a battle royale instead of an extraction shooter. Like, these guys actually have no idea what they're talking about. So here I am making this video for you all. I have timestamps in the description you can use. Also a time bar on the bottom of the video to navigate to whatever section fancies you most if you don't want to sit through the whole video. He's sucking them off. Look, he's sucking them off. I also have a section at the end specifically focusing on talking to the developers where I'm going to give feedback on the game if any of you devs happen to be watching this. Moth. So why the hell does my opinion matter?
I'm not just like the rest of you. I'm stronger. I'm smarter. I'm better. I am better.
Well, the short answer is it doesn't. Not any more than anyone else's. I'm just some moron with a YouTube channel, but...
You want to be me, don't you?
This moron does have a lot of experience with extraction shooters. That's my bread and butter. It's what my whole channel is built around. My main game is DeltaForce, at least the operations part of DeltaForce. Wipe.
Bridge.
Down one. Down one. I have about 1,500 hours on that, and that is putting it lightly because I've used other clients that don't track it. And I have even more hours than that on the OG Tarkov before I started a YouTube channel. Played a ton of Hunt Showdown back in the day when it was really popular. And of course, the new kid on the block, Arc Raiders, I have a good bit of experience at as well as some videos on the channel. I got back shots for you, buddy. I give the best back shots in Buried City. Get inside, brother. There's monsters out there.
He's running to you.
Come on, everybody inside. Everybody inside. Sweet dreams.
Well, this sucks.
You got to give us a couple.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Oh, my God! But the point is, extraction shooters are what I live and breathe. My favorite genre of gaming. Tactical gameplay mixed with the addicting risk-reward factor of gambling your gear on your ability to make it out of the next raid alive. But does Marathon manage to deliver that kind of experience in a fun and rewarding way? You know, it might shock you, but I'm actually here to say yes.
I hate it. I'm out.
With some caveats. And trust me, the experience wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. Get the circle off my screen! I don't have a mouse on the screen. Am I supposed to be able to click those? Am I supposed to be able to click those? My first day was borderline miserable and I considered not coming back to it. Enable full screen optimizations. Are we serious? We're doing all this? Alright, and waiting for reviews before maybe purchasing the game down the line. But I gave it a second shot on the second day, and I ended up having a lot of fun through days 2, 3, and 4. Down one.
Nice. I'm about to close the distance. Gotta play smart with it.
No chance.
Did he get the res?
I don't know. I hit him with the boop. Oh, I think that launched him. Oh my God, I think they're both right here. I think these are the two I saw. I need to look at the recording. I'm fairly certain that I booped them all the way across that little area they were in because I saw him go for the res. I charge up the gun, shoot it right next to him, and then I see what I thought was somebody rotating, but I'm pretty sure it was just a body flying through the air over to that left side where we found them. Me from 3 months ago would have never expected Marathon to go the way it is right now. All the trailers looked really awkward to me, way too bright, way too goofy looking. I wasn't a fan of the art style or the aesthetic at first. The character models were unappealing, like you're putting lipstick on a plastic figurine type stuff. Like, I don't know. We already had plenty of good extraction shooters to choose from. Arc Raiders was just coming out, or was either just out or just coming out or something like that when I first heard about Marathon. So I was like, what could this possibly bring to the table? Don't suck me off. Well, I'm gonna answer that question for you right now. To kind of break it down to digestible segments, there's 3 main pieces to every extraction shooter. So we'll look at how Marathon approaches each one. We have the progression side of it, you know, loot, money, goals, quest lines, unlocks, things like that. Then we have the fights, the actual gameplay, gunplay, abilities if it's a hero shooter. The match flow. Does it have proximity chat? What's the pace of the game like? How the extractions look? Is there going to be a lot of extraction rats? The progression. This section is deceptively simple. On the surface, it's a pretty simple idea, but it goes pretty deep. The entirety of your progression in Marathon will be wrapped up in the faction system. As you progress through the different factions, I think right now there's 6, there may be more, I don't know. But doing quests with them gets you higher rank in them, unlocks higher rarity gear that faction specializes in, gets you more upgrades, yada yada, all this kind of stuff. A kind of example would be, oh, this faction likes shields, which is like your armor in this game. So if I level that faction up, I'll get better shields, like be able to purchase better shields. These guys like grenades, these guys like ARs and SMGs, yada yada, you get the idea. But that also extends to raw character stat upgrades like stamina, melee damage, fall damage negation, and things like that. And on top of that, account progression, like the size of the wallet, like how much money you can hold. The vault space or stash spaces you're probably accustomed to hearing with other games. Those are all done through the faction system, leveling up the different factions and then spending materials and money on upgrades within the factions. And that kind of segues me over to the loot side of things with the progression system. It operates on a system of, hey, this upgrade requires X, let's say biomass, and diodes plus 2,000 credits. So on my next run, I'm gonna look for those items specifically and maybe some money if I don't have 2,000 credits to afford the upgrade. It's like a case of every piece of loot in the game is pointless unless you need a specific piece. Then all of a sudden, that is the most important thing in the world until you get the upgrade, and then it goes back to being useless because the new thing you need for your next upgrade is now the most important thing in the world. I remember unstable biomass being a thing I needed to farm a ton of because it was locking multiple of my upgrades. And then I needed unstable diodes, and then I needed this other thing and this other thing. And it was fun seeing items, things that I saw all the time become relevant and then go back to being irrelevant. So it kind of keeps the loot flowing in an interesting way. The main thing people will find lacking in this area of the game is there's no, at least by my metric, no big mega special rare loot that you can look for. You know, there's people that play games that like to dig through the trash cans, every single lootable spot on the map to find like the big special rare red item or gold item. And then they get super excited when they find out like, oh my God, that's so rare. And then you get to try to get it out of the raid. That isn't really much of a thing here. An item either has a use or it doesn't. I didn't really notice anything that was like crazy valuable, just kind of hanging around.
Guys, there's this thing.
There's a what?
I don't know, it's gold. So pick it up. It's a gold.
I'm trying. I got it.
I don't think it does anything for you. No, I think that's the thing that it, when you get back, it says it sells.
I fucking hate you. It allows you to keep the guns that disappear when you extract. I hate you.
That makes sense, dude.
Is a Quokka a rodent family or what? I've never heard of them. Ban that motherfucker right now. Ban him. There are cool items like schematics and weapon mods that sure you might get excited about seeing. Kind of like, I guess, the blueprints from Arc Raiders a bit. But doesn't seem like there's like big mother loads in this game that you can hit just by looting things. Part of the late game system and the upgrades wraps into actually boss PvE content. There are bosses that spawn on the map that include later game progression materials, but currently these kind of just feel like giant bullet sponges. I really hope that these get a bit more character in the future, maybe some voice lines or something like that. because right now they do feel quite a bit underbaked and they're kind of just really thick basic bots. And as far as like money progression goes, you don't need to worry about going broke in this game. There's 10 million and one ways to make money without risking anything. There are these things called sponsor kits. They're like free loadouts from our creators or gear tickets from DeltaForce. And they are handed out like candy from the different factions, and even specialized loot running character called Rook exists, who can hide his presence from the AI enemies and heal himself without using medical supplies. I'm struggling with the economy of the game so far. Even when I survive runs, I don't feel like I make any money. Buying additional kits has been... I end up just running free kits. This is actually, unironically, the best system I've run into like this. Yeah, like I said, the free loadouts from our creators are cool and DeltaForce gear tickets are well and good, but the sponsored kits have so much character to them. They're flavored, so to speak, after the corporations or the factions that give them to you. And they range from free up to several $1,000s, so you can even get them if you just want a kit built for you and don't want to build one yourself. The fights. My favorite section. This is where Marathon excels. This is where I was hoping it would excel, and I'm happy to say that it does. It's clearly what the entire system is built around. Every character having decently high baseline mobility, with sliding available on all characters, plus double jumps, boosting, grappling hooks, smoke dive bombs. Oh, right here, close. Down. Killed. I cloaked. See if I can get a... Down another one.
One right there.
Killed.
To your left. I was getting shot from your left.
Down another one. That's 3 down.
Yeah, I got two down here. One's dead. Fuck off, God.
I'm going for this.
I'm gonna EMP grenade in.
Yep.
I'm sorry, little one.
And such on different characters specifically. This game was made for fights to be chaotic and ever evolving on the fly. Like, the guy you saw first floor may very well be on the roof within 3 seconds sniping your buddy, because there's a way to go to the back and double jump to the second level to where there's a ladder to climb onto the roof or whatever. That's only ever really seen in like Apex Legends. And I love it. Information expires very fast in this game, and people willing to adapt to the flow of a fight will definitely be rewarded here. As far as the guns, outside of a few outliers, yes, I'm looking at you, railgun and shotgun. I need to shoot a player with this. I need to know if it one-taps them. He's right here.
Over here.
He's trapped, I think.
Hit really hard.
Oh, I insta-downed him. It does insta-down. Yeah, right here.
Careful here.
That's a US, he's looking at somebody. They're at the exfil, Downed him. Oh, green shield, one tap. Killed. That's insane. The guns feel pretty fair on a good playing field. You got your odd stinkers, like some of the energy weapons kind of suck, but generally every weapon I've picked up felt responsive, impactful, and more importantly, lethal. Even bare bones guns on the sponsored kits with no attachments were putting down people with shields that were greater than mine. Yeah, players on me. Down one.
Find them.
I've got a lot of bots on me. I cracked his armor.
I'm getting active. He's one shot.
Where'd he go?
He's dead. Finishing.
No, don't do it.
Feels good. And when looking at character abilities or shell abilities, I'm gonna call them operators, characters, whatever. They're shells. The way this game works is your consciousness inhabits a shell android thing for a run, and that's kind of how this game explains the mass levels of death and destruction that happen on a regular basis, because they're kind of just tools to be used and disposed of. But anyways, the shells all have different abilities. And without spending an hour going over it, let me know if you want a specific video breaking down each shell, but you have your general roles. You have the tank, the speedster, the info gatherer, the stealthy killer, the medic, and what I think will be like a skirmisher. She has a grappling hook, but I didn't have access to Thief during our time. Then, as I mentioned earlier, there's Rook, who is basically worse than everyone else, but he's designed to loot run and stay under the radar and make some money. If you're a fan of hero shooters like DeltaForce, Overwatch, Valorant, Apex Legends, you don't need me to explain how much extra depth this adds to fights. I've fallen in love with the concept and the complexity it brings to fights and situations. Adds a lot of replayability when, you know, it's not just 3 guys with M4s versus 3 guys with M4s. There's all sorts of different combinations that those 2 teams of 3 could be under now that you have characters involved. So I can only imagine how much more fun this is going to get with more characters and shells added, whatever. The match flow. I didn't really know what to title this section, but it absolutely is one of the 3 major sections of an extraction shooter, because you have to talk about your time between POIs. What does it feel like in between the gunfights? Is there proxy chat? Is there fights in between the locations you're going to? That kind of thing. What's the extraction like? So I'm just going to go over a few points that are different between games that you might be interested in knowing here. So you spawn at the beginning of the match, and unlike Arc Raiders, there are no mid-match spawns except for people playing Rook. That's why he's so special. The money-making guy that I talked about earlier. He's the only one that's allowed to spawn mid-match. And also, there are solo matches and squad matches. If you queue up solo, you're only going to get solos. You queue up squads, you're going to get squads. Though, another exception for Rook players. Rook players can spawn in with squads, even though Rooks can only be solos. This game also has squad chat and proximity chat, meaning you could talk to your squad without outside ears hearing if you're using the squad fill system, or you can do it Arc Raider style and talk in-game. Though I do warn you, don't expect friendlies. I mean, maybe Rooks are going to get along. Rook is kind of like the child of the game, like everyone loves the Rook players. So Rooks might get a pass if you talk to squads and ask to pass by or whatever, but don't expect to be buddy-buddy in this game. I doubt it's going to go that direction. That's kind of what Arc Raiders is going to be for. Pretty similar to most extraction shooters, the vast majority of your fights will take place within POIs, points of interest, the locations on the map. Any encounters in the space between will most likely just be running from one POI to another and encountering a team who is doing the same thing. Though the game does do a good job of littering the environments with cover and little buildings and other little loot spots in between the large areas. A famous one is actually the infected building on the perimeter map, and if you've played the game, you'll know what I'm talking about. Fights break out there all the time because it's a common rotation between areas, and it's the focal point of an early quest line, so it ends up being quite the little hotspot. And finally, extractions. I don't really have a lot of specific info on this, but just some general points. There's a delay at the start of the match before exfil points open up. Then, after a certain amount of time, 3 exfil points open up. And if a team takes one, it disappears and then respawns shortly after. So there's generally more or less always 3 exfil points on the map. These can be normal exfils or guarded exfils. The only difference is guarded exfils will spawn a wave of AI enemies once you call the extract in.
No, I agree.
Is that a player? Yeah, it is. Player squad.
Engage.
That guy got railed. I'm gonna push res, I think.
That's not good.
It's a new squad. I see another 3 behind us.
Oh, yeah, it is. Good luck, guys.
Moon vaulted in front of all 3 of them in a bot.
I was trying to get the position where I could actually do something.
Oh, you did something.
You did.
Oh, you did something. Something was done.
Something happened. Something happened.
Is this game for you? Now, this is a section I really wanted to include, even if it doesn't fit that well in here, because I know there's going to be a lot of people who really want to get to the point. And I'm going to organize this little section by other games in this genre to let you know what to expect. DeltaForce. All right, this is my main game. This is my main squeeze. So my whole channel's based off of. And I can tell you that it will be a smooth transition if you want to try Marathon. The main difference you're going to notice is that the AI are much deadlier in this game, and the movement is going to feel closer to Apex Legends in terms of the verticality built into it, and the kind of speed the characters operate on. Everyone's already operating on like a D-Wolf level of mobility, if that makes sense. Where you may find it lacking, as I talked about earlier, is if you're that character who really finds big thrill in finding the red items. Like you see, whenever you find a gold bar, you're just super happy. Or whenever you find a carbon fiber, you're just like, oh my God, I gotta get this out of here. Or you really enjoy hunting down rocket fuel. That doesn't seem to be the kind of thing that this game's gonna be built around. So maybe not your squeeze if that's like a big deal to you. There's also no ammo rarity in this game, so no need to worry about bringing gold bullets to be competitive. But other than that, it's gonna be a smooth transition, and I highly recommend you give it a shot. Arc Raiders. Now this might be a hard one. I might step on some toes with this one, so I apologize in advance, but the Arc Raiders player base clearly has two major populations. And I can confidently say that if you're one of those parts of the population where you get offended if someone shoots at you, if you call friendly and then get really mad when someone shoots you, this is not the game for you. It's probably obvious for now it's not the game for you. This game has proximity chat, but it's used in a more similar way to where how Hunt Showdown and Tarkov use it, where you do banter between each other before and during, after the fight, all that kind of thing. I mean, you might find some friendly rooks like I talked about earlier, but if you're playing Arc Raiders and have been frustrated by the lack of skill expression in that game, you may find your home here in Marathon. The looting system is largely the same, so you'll find that easier to grasp, and there's a lot more skill expression in the gunfights as opposed to just corner peeking or doing some weird glitch abuse like the snap hook in the inventory thing. Hunt Showdown. The PvP attitude is going to be very similar to Hunt. You don't make friends in Hunt, there's a bounty, we're all after the same bounty. This one, you're either after the boss or you're after some loot, ain't no reason to make friends. Obviously, this is a far cry from Hunt in terms of the gunplay and the looting system. The looting basically doesn't exist in Hunt Showdown, so you'll have to get used to that. And the gunplay is more based around getting that one headshot or hitting them hard one time and then going for the finish. Whereas this game is more about full sending fights once you get an advantage, or managing your healing with the longer TTK and making sure you don't get downed. Major difference, and obviously, there's no major boss on the fight that everyone's hunting to then get out with a bounty, obviously. Oh, Tarkov, the big one, the OG extraction shooter. If you play Tarkov, you understand what you got yourself into with that game. You really do. This is basically the antithesis of Tarkov. If there's something that Tarkov flagships, this is almost certainly going to be the opposite. It's got a much more consistent TTK, where Tarkov has a very inconsistent TTK, where somebody could be extremely tanky, but you get lucky and a bullet goes through and they get one-tapped. You can get head-eyes in Tarkov and go down, even if you're wearing big boy armor. There's only one type of ammo per gun in this game, which is heresy to a modern Tarkov player. I'm pretty sure there's like 45 different types of 5.56 in that game. If you're wanting a more competitive playing field, not to replace Tarky, but something very different in the extraction shooter genre, I could recommend this. You know, you won't get head eyes by 9mm in full gear, but you know, there's also no bitcoins or fancy hits or fancy weapon building with 11 flashlights on a shotgun to take into factory nighttime raids. So, your call. I obviously recommend giving it a shot. And you know, as far as my general consensus, I've really enjoyed my time in Marathon. Sure, my first day was completely miserable and I was questioning everything and my own existence. Get the circle off my screen! Okay, whatever. I can't change my sensitivity, so we're just gonna have to deal with this! But day 2, 3, and 4 were really fun on the server slam, and I'm very excited for the full release. I'm looking forward to a game with longer TTK, allowing for more skill expression of the gunfights and outplays, and holding positions being more important rather than holding very specific angles to get your 1 or 2 bullet head tap. And with, you know, obviously you being a hero shooter, I love that extra layer of tactics and mechanics, and I think we've got something to work with here, especially if we get more fights like this.
Does the cloak stay on when you're shooting?
Team! I was muted! I'm running back to you guys! Oh!
Oh, he could be back. I downed him, he downed me.
Oh my god, bro.
Res.
I got it. They're rezzing for sure. Oh, yep. Down? I got one on my left.
Oh, yeah.
He got me. He's pushing
Down
you,
another one?
pushing your left.
He's down.
Close left. Oh, you got him? Okay.
I'll get him, yeah.
I'm gonna try to get fins.
One moved in close.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I just got into the vapor. Oh, alright.
He's on top, on top.
Yeah,
on top.
no.
Yeah.
Got him down.
10 minutes from
Steps.
Yeah, no.
On you. 5 feet away.
Down.
Finishing.
They're all dead. Rez. You know, I don't do ratings very well, especially number ratings. It's like taking a super subjective take and pretending it can be this like measurable numerical thing, but yeah, I'll give it a shot because I know a lot of you are probably looking for it. In its current state, I'd probably give Marathon, if I'm discounting my first day, if I pretend that first day never happened, I'll give it like a 7 or 8, with the potential to be a 9 out of 10 close to launch if they implement feedback accordingly, not just from me, but as from the community as a whole.
What the dog doing?
And now, at the end of this video that is much longer than I originally anticipated, I want to give some positive and then constructive feedback for Bungie. First, the positive. You have successfully detached yourself from the stupid idea of realism that is plaguing modern gaming. Gamers would like try to pretend they would rather have a more realistic feel than something fun, something cool, and something balanced. With this art style and these characters and the world and the gun design, you have completely detached yourself from that, and I couldn't be happier for you. Now you can focus on something completely good instead of something completely realistic. You know, you could focus on, when we're looking at aspects of a game, visuals, gunplay, sound design, balance. You don't have to worry about, does it logically make sense anymore? Because we're not rooted in reality. You can focus on good visuals, even if they're not realistic. You can focus on good gunplay, even if the guns don't feel realistic. You can focus on good sound design, good balance, without having to worry about, oh, well, I shot him twice in the head. He should be dead. Brother, these are robots with shields. We ain't got to worry about that. Make it balanced. And lots of fun should be the focus here. You have all the tools to do it. It's on you to make it happen. The character kits and designs are going really well. As far as like their functionality, I feel like they're all a bit generalist, but you still got some room to expand the roster and maybe dial it in with balance patches and things. I personally like the visuals. It's more a subjective taste. I like how dreary the environment is, contrasted against the comedically vibrant POIs, and how clear it is to see players in both of those settings. I think that's done well. And now some constructive feedback. Gun balance is mostly in a good spot, but you need to be very careful with weapons that can one-shot. This encourages passive gameplay and boring tactics, which is the exact opposite of everything else you've been trying to do. If you look at games with one-shot mechanics, Rainbow Six Siege is built around it. However, that entire game takes place in one building. Look at another game that did one-shots correctly, Apex Legends. There's only one gun in that game that can one-shot, the Kraber. It's incredibly slow in every single aspect of that weapon, ADS time, bullet travel time, yada yada, all that, in a game where everyone is fast. If you absolutely must have a one-shot weapon in your game, I recommend balancing the railgun around that. Slow charge time, slow ADS time, slow reload time, small magazine, but devastating if you catch someone unaware or good enough to play around its downsides. I don't think a one-shot semi-auto weapon or shotgun is healthy at all, and I would really caution you around embracing those ideals that are very prevalent right now. I'm personally not the biggest fan of the character models. The Thief looks okay, but most of them kind of look like they're drug out of the dumpster and then you drew lipstick on a plastic doll. They kind of just look weird, which I understand it's the point, but players don't necessarily want to feel like walking trash all the time or to feel really weird. So hopefully we get some awesome cosmetics in the game that we can look and feel cool with our favorite shells without breaking the lore. The boss level enemies could use some more personality or flavor or something. Right now they kind of just feel like immense bullet sponges that are the same as every other bot aside from their HP pool. Not exactly super interesting. Maybe take some inspiration from DeltaForce. You know, Saeed has a big character behind him, and everyone knows who that is. Tarkov has big characters in their game as far as bosses. I think that could really do with helping your game here. And lastly, the sound. I had multiple instances of being full sprinted upon and run up on by entire teams and hearing nothing before they were already on us and killing us.
Oh, come on, you stole that from me.
Oh,
There's the team. God, dude, I love audio in this game.
dead.
It's perfect. The audio is perfect in this game. A full squad running up on us and no footsteps. That's great.
Yeah.
God, dude, no, I love this game. It's great. It's great.
That is a legitimate complaint. That there's no reason they should be 3 people right next to us and not hear a single fucking footstep.
Let's have an extraction shooter, but 3 people with LMGs can sprint across the map without making a single noise.
That's gotta get fixed. I think enemy movement, enemy abilities, your own abilities, all of that should be very audible, and it should be information that's given to the player within fights. I don't think 3 people running up on you with LMGs and shotguns is going to be very fun for anybody. I'm not saying make it super stompy, but come on, full sprinting, full team inside a building with no enemies around, and I hear it, we can find a balance there. But yeah, that'll be it from me on my marathon review. I hope you learned something from this video or it helped you decide whether you're going to be buying and playing the game. I know I'm going to be playing it and putting out some content on it, so feel free to subscribe if you want to see some of that or some content that's edited like this for other games, including DeltaForce. Godspeed, runners, and I'll see you on Tau Ceti.